So are you ready to dive into The Miracle Morning?
Yeah, let's do it.
We've been getting a lot of questions about this book.
It's super popular.
So we decided it was time for a deep dive.
Sounds good.
We read Hal Elrod's book, and
It's really interesting.
yeah, it's more than just like setting your alarm earlier.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's about intentionally designing your morning routine
right.
for success and happiness and all these wild claims out there about like
Yeah.
weight loss and ditching energy drinks and
Right.
even doubling income.
Crazy, right?
But before we get into all that,
Yeah.
let's see what sparked this whole phenomenon.
So what's really fascinating is the origin story.
Okay.
Hal Elrod was only 20 when he had this near-fatal car accident.
Oh, wow.
And the doctors told him he might never walk again.
I can't even imagine.
Talk about a life-altering event.
Yeah, that would be enough for me.
Right.
But his struggles continued,
Yeah.
even while he was achieving outward success.
So he had financial troubles and depression.
On top of everything else.
Yeah.
That's so rough.
It's really hard to imagine.
It makes you wonder how he pulled himself out of such a dark place.
Well, and that's exactly where the Miracle Morning was born.
Yeah.
Out of this real personal crisis.
So it wasn't like an overnight epiphany or anything?
No, not at all. It was a process,
Okay.
like a gradual shift in his mindset.
Interesting.
And it began with a really simple act.
Okay, now I'm intrigued. What was the simple act that started it all?
So Elrod describes going for a run,
Okay.
even though he hated running.
I can relate to that.
And during this run, he had this realization
Okay.
about the connection between personal development and success.
Interesting.
He calls it the success parallel.
Success parallel. Okay.
Yeah, the idea is that your level of personal development
Okay.
has to be in line with the level of success you're aiming for.
Oh, that's a really interesting way to put it.
Yeah.
So you can't expect to achieve massive success
Right.
if you're not actually working on yourself.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like trying to run a marathon without training.
Ooh, okay.
You might make it to the starting line,
Yeah.
but you're not going to finish the race.
That analogy really hits home.
Yeah.
So how does the Miracle Morning help bridge that gap?
So at its core is the S.A.V.E.R.S.
S.A.V.E.R.S. Okay.
It's an acronym.
Okay.
It represents 6 key practices
Okay.
that Elrod believes create this powerful foundation for your day.
So it's not just about doing these things.
Right.
It's about understanding why they work
Yeah.
and how they all connect.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's unpack this S.A.V.E.R.S. acronym.
Okay.
What does each letter stand for?
So it stands for silence,
Yeah.
affirmations, visualization,
Okay.
exercise,
Got it.
reading,
Okay.
and scribing.
Wow, that's quite a comprehensive routine.
Yeah, it is.
So let's start with silence.
Okay.
What's that all about?
Is it just sitting there in quiet contemplation?
Yeah, is that it?
That's one way to do it.
Okay.
But it's
yeah.
really about intentionally creating space
Okay.
for stillness in your morning.
Stillness. Okay.
Yeah, think of it as hitting the reset button
Okay.
on your mind before all the chaos of the day kicks in.
I like that.
Elrod emphasizes the benefits of quieting the noise, reducing stress,
Yeah.
becoming more self-aware,
Okay.
and gaining clarity to focus on your goals.
So it's more than just being quiet.
Right.
It's about achieving a state of mental clarity and focus.
Exactly.
I see.
It could be meditation, prayer, or even just focusing on your breath.
Okay.
The key is to find what works for you,
Right.
to create that inner peace and quiet.
That makes sense. Okay, so I'm picturing myself starting my day
Yeah.
with like a peaceful meditation session.
Yeah.
But let's move on to the next S in S.A.V.E.R.S.
Oh,
Scribing.
Oh,
Is
you-
this where we get our inner Hemingway on?
not necessarily Hemingway,
Okay.
but Elrod is a big proponent of journaling.
Okay.
He calls it scribing,
Okay.
to emphasize that it's not about writing beautifully.
Gotcha.
It's about putting your thoughts and feelings on paper.
Okay.
Think of it as like a conversation with yourself,
Okay.
processing emotions, gaining clarity,
Mm-hmm.
tracking your progress, and cultivating gratitude.
I've tried journaling before, but
Yeah.
I often find myself staring at a blank page,
Yeah.
unsure of where to even start.
I've totally been there.
Really?
Yeah, and Elrod acknowledges that struggle.
Okay, good.
He even suggests digital options,
Like what?
like the 5-minute journal app,
Okay. Yeah,
if that feels less intimidating.
that's a good idea.
Yeah, the key is to find a method that works for you,
Right.
whether it's free-flowing thoughts or structured prompts,
I see.
but don't get caught up in perfection.
Okay.
Just focus on the process of getting those thoughts out of your head.
Okay. That's good advice. Focus on the process.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered the two S's.
Right.
Now let's dive into A,
Right.
affirmations.
Okay.
So is this about chanting positive phrases in the mirror?
It can be,
Okay.
but there's a deeper psychological principle at play here.
Okay.
Elrod highlights the power of affirmations
Okay.
to reprogram your subconscious mind.
Reprogram. Okay.
We all have these limiting beliefs that hold us back.
Yeah, for sure.
And affirmations are a way to challenge those
Okay.
and overcome them by consistently feeding your mind positive statements.
Interesting.
It's like replacing a negative thought loop
Okay.
with an empowering one.
I like that.
Yeah.
Can you give an example of this from the book?
Yeah, so Elrod himself used affirmations
Okay.
to overcome his belief that he had a bad memory.
After the accident.
Yeah, after his accident.
Oh.
He would consistently affirm that his brain was healing
Okay.
and that his memory was improving.
And did it actually work?
He claims it did.
Really?
Yeah, and that's where it gets really interesting for you.
Okay.
What limiting beliefs might be holding you back? What if you could rewire your thinking
Yeah.
to overcome those self-imposed limitations?
Wow. That's powerful.
It is.
I'm already starting to think about some of the negative self-talk I need to address.
Absolutely.
Okay. Up next, we have V.
Okay.
Visualization.
Right.
Is this where those vision boards come in?
You got it.
Okay.
Visualization is all about creating a clear mental picture
Okay.
of your desired outcomes.
So seeing yourself achieving your goals,
Exactly.
living the life you want, embodying the person you aspire to be.
Yeah. Vision boards are a popular tool for this.
Okay, I've heard of vision boards,
Yeah.
but I've always been a bit skeptical.
Okay.
Like, how do you actually translate those images and aspirations
Right.
into real-world action?
That's the key, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
not just about creating a pretty collage.
Right.
It's about using it as a tool
Okay.
to focus your energy and intentions.
Okay.
Elrod suggests looking at your vision board daily.
Oh, wow. Every day.
Yeah, and spending time visualizing yourself,
Uh-huh.
actually living those dreams.
Oh, okay.
It's about making the connection
Yeah.
between your inner world and your outer reality.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
So it's about aligning your thoughts, feelings, and actions with your goals.
Exactly.
And even if vision boards aren't your thing,
Right.
that core concept of visualization is crucial.
It is.
It's about training your mind to see possibilities,
Yes.
to believe in your potential, and to act in alignment with your aspirations.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm starting to feel the power of this routine.
Yeah.
Let's move on to E,
Okay.
exercise.
All right.
This one seems pretty self-explanatory, right?
It might seem obvious, but Elrod goes beyond just the typical focus on physical health.
Okay.
He emphasizes how even a small amount of exercise can improve
Yeah.
mental clarity, focus, and emotional well-being.
Okay. I know exercise is important,
Yeah.
but mornings are already so hectic.
Right.
What if I don't have time for a full workout?
Don't worry. Elrod acknowledges that.
Okay, good.
He suggests finding ways to incorporate even short bursts of movement into your routine.
Yeah. A brisk walk, a few yoga poses, even some jumping jacks
Okay.
can make a difference.
Okay, that's reassuring. I can definitely squeeze in
Yeah,
a few minutes of movement.
absolutely.
Okay, so now we're on to the last letter in S.A.V.E.R.S.
Right.
Reading.
Okay.
I have to admit, I love curling up with a good book.
Me too.
But is this really a crucial part
Yeah.
of a successful morning routine?
So Elrod argues that it's all about continuous learning.
Okay.
By reading, you're essentially fast-tracking your progress
Interesting.
in any area of life
Okay.
by tapping into the knowledge and experience of others.
Mm-hmm.
It's like having a mentor in your pocket.
I like that. A mentor in your pocket.
Yeah.
But how much reading are we talking about here?
He suggests aiming for just 10 pages a day.
10 pages. Okay.
Yeah, it seems manageable, right?
Yeah, that's definitely doable.
But here's what's mind-blowing.
Okay.
10 pages a day adds up to roughly 18 books a year.
Wow.
Imagine the knowledge and insights
Yeah.
you could gain from that small, consistent commitment.
Okay, you've convinced me I'm adding read more to my
Right.
Miracle Morning plan.
Right.
So we've covered all 6 savers.
We did it.
Silence affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing.
That's a lot.
This is a lot to fit into a morning.
It is.
Is the Miracle Morning a one-size-fits-all approach?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Elrod emphasizes flexibility and customization.
Okay, good.
He offers different versions of the routine,
Like what?
ranging from a quick 6-minute version
6 minutes, wow.
to a more extensive hour-long practice.
Okay, so there's a range.
There is.
It's all about adapting it
Right.
to your schedule, goals, and preferences. So I could tailor the routine to fit my own life.
You got it.
Okay, good.
You can customize the length of time you spend on each practice.
Mm-hmm.
You can decide which savers are most important to you.
Okay.
And you could even adjust the routine for weekdays versus weekends.
Okay.
It's about finding what works best for you and your unique circumstances.
That's a relief to hear.
Yeah.
I like that it's not a rigid set of rules.
Right.
But a framework for intentional self-improvement.
Exactly.
But let's be honest, building any new habit can be tough.
It can be.
Does Elrod offer any guidance on making this a sustainable practice?
He's developed a 30-day challenge.
A 30-day challenge.
Specifically designed to help you integrate the miracle morning into your life.
Okay.
And he's very realistic about the challenges.
Okay.
And breaks the process down into manageable phases.
Okay, tell me more about this 30-day challenge. What are the phases?
So he calls them unbearable.
Unbearable, okay.
Uncomfortable.
Right.
And unstoppable.
Wow, those are some intense names.
I know, right?
Okay, so unbearable.
The first 10 days,
Okay.
it's all about pushing through resistance and just showing up even when you don't feel like it.
That sounds tough.
It could be he's not sugarcoating it,
Right.
but he's honest about the fact that change is rarely easy.
That's true.
Then comes uncomfortable.
Okay.
From days 11 to 20, where you start to build momentum and see some of the benefits.
Okay, so it starts to get a little bit better and then unstoppable.
Yes, from days 21 to 30.
Okay.
When the habit solidifies, you're actually enjoying the process.
Wow.
And you start reaping those rewards.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
I like that he breaks it down into such distinct phases.
Yeah.
It makes it feel less overwhelming.
Right.
But what about motivation?
Yeah.
What if I start to lose steam along the way?
So Elrod is a huge advocate for finding an accountability partner.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. He believes that having someone to share the journey with can make all the difference in staying committed and motivated.
That's such a great point.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to be thinking about who I can invite to join me on this journey.
Awesome.
But is there anything else we should know about Elrod's approach?
Yeah, there was one more thing I found really insightful.
Okay.
He talks about an exercise he calls the life-changing email.
The life-changing email.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all about seeking brutally honest feedback from the people you trust.
That sounds intense.
It can be.
But also incredibly valuable.
It is.
I'm definitely curious to learn more about that.
That's exactly what we'll be exploring in part 2.
Okay.
We'll dive into the specifics of the life-changing email
All right.
and unpack Elrod's strategies for navigating the ups and downs of habit formation.
Okay, so be sure to join us for the next part of our deep dive into the miracle morning.
Sounds good.
Welcome back. I'm already feeling inspired to start my own miracle morning routine after that deep dive into the savers.
Yeah, they're pretty powerful.
But I have a few more questions before I take the plunge.
Okay, shoot.
Like, is there an ideal time to wake up?
Oh, that's a good one.
Is 5 a.m. the magic number?
That's actually a common misconception.
Really?
Yeah, Elrod emphasizes that the best wake-up time
Okay.
really depends on your individual schedule and preferences.
So it's not about adhering to a strict wake-up call or anything?
Well, not at all. It's more about
Right.
creating time for yourself before the day's demands take over.
So it's more about shifting your mindset
Right.
than
Yeah.
becoming like a crazy early bird.
Exactly.
That's good news for those of us who aren't exactly morning people.
Yeah.
But what about those mornings when the snooze button seems irresistible?
Oh, I know those mornings.
Does Elrod offer any strategies for overcoming that initial resistance?
He does. He calls it the 5-step snooze-proof wake-up strategy.
Okay, I like it already. Let's break down these 5 steps.
Okay, so step 1 is setting your intentions before bed.
Okay.
He suggests consciously deciding how you want to feel when you wake up and
Okay.
reminding yourself why you're committing to the miracle morning.
So it's about mental preparation?
Right.
Like setting the stage for a positive morning experience.
Exactly.
Before you even fall asleep.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay, what's step 2?
Step 2 is moving your alarm clock across the room.
Oh, I've heard that one before.
It's a classic.
It forces you to physically get out of bed to turn it off.
Right, and that physical action helps to kind of break the inertia of sleep.
I see. Okay, step 3.
Step 3 is to brush your teeth.
Okay, that seems simple enough.
It is, but it's actually a powerful signal to your body
Okay.
that you're waking up and getting ready for the day.
Interesting. So it's like a subtle shift in your mental state.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I like it. What's step 4?
Step 4 is to drink a full glass of water.
Okay.
Elrod emphasizes that rehydrating after a night of sleep is crucial
Okay.
for boosting energy levels.
Yeah, I definitely see how that would help.
Yeah,
Sometimes I wake up feeling super groggy,
right.
and I bet it's just dehydration.
It very well could be.
Okay, and finally, step 5.
Step 5 is to get dressed or do some light exercise.
Okay, so getting your blood flowing
Yeah.
and signaling to your mind and body that it's time to be active.
Exactly. Elrod suggests that Completing these 5 simple steps
Okay.
will significantly increase your motivation to stay awake
Okay.
and actually engage in your miracle morning routine.
Okay. I love the practicality of this approach.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
But what about those times when life throws you a curveball?
Oh, yeah.
You're sick or traveling or just plain exhausted.
Right.
Does Elrod advocate for sticking to the routine no matter what?
Actually, he's quite realistic about that.
Okay, good.
He emphasizes that the miracle morning should be adapted to your circumstances.
So it's not about being rigid,
Right.
but about finding ways to prioritize personal development,
Exactly.
even when things get challenging.
Yeah, he even suggests modifying the savers
Okay.
based on your available time and energy levels.
So for example, if I'm short on time,
Yeah.
I could do a shorter meditation or just read for a few minutes.
Exactly.
Okay, that's reassuring.
Yeah.
It takes the pressure off feeling like I have to do everything perfectly
Right.
every single day.
It's about progress, not perfection.
Exactly. But what about customizing the routine based on individual goals?
Oh, yeah, good question.
Does Elrod offer any guidance on that?
He suggests tailoring the savers
Oh, okay.
to align with what you're trying to achieve.
Okay, can you give us some examples?
Sure. So if your goal is to improve your relationships,
Okay.
you might focus more on affirmations
Okay.
that promote empathy and understanding and spend extra time journaling
Okay.
about your interactions with loved ones.
Interesting.
Or if you're working on launching a business,
Okay.
you might prioritize reading books about entrepreneurship
Okay.
and visualize yourself achieving success in your venture.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
It's about aligning your morning routine with your bigger life goals.
exactly.
But I have to ask, what does Elrod say about food?
Oh, that's a good one.
Is there a specific diet he recommends alongside the miracle morning?
He doesn't prescribe a strict diet plan or anything,
Okay.
but he does emphasize the importance of starting your day
Okay.
with nutritious food that fuels your mind and body.
So no sugary cereals or donuts allowed?
He probably wouldn't endorse those.
Oh.
He recommends opting for whole, unprocessed foods
Okay.
that provide sustained energy.
Makes sense. It's all about setting yourself up for success.
Right.
Both physically and mentally.
Exactly. And he even shares his own morning ritual,
Oh, really?
which includes a drink he calls bulletproof coffee.
Bulletproof coffee? What is that?
It's a blend of coffee, grass-fed butter, and MCT oil.
Okay.
He claims it provides long-lasting energy and mental clarity.
Interesting. I might have to try that.
Yeah, it's pretty popular.
But I'm curious, does Elrod recommend doing the miracle morning every single day,
Oh, good question.
including weekends?
He actually suggests experimenting with different approaches.
Okay.
He encourages people to try doing the miracle morning during the week
Okay.
and then see how they feel on the weekends if they sleep in.
So it's about finding a rhythm that works for you.
Right.
And honors your individual needs.
Exactly. He recognizes that life is dynamic
Yeah.
and that flexibility is key to sustaining any positive habit.
That's a good reminder. We've covered a lot of ground
We have.
in this deep dive into the miracle morning.
It's a lot to unpack.
But is there anything else that stood out to you?
About Elrod's approach,
Yeah.
one thing that really resonated with me was his emphasis
Jorge.
on the power of habits.
The power of habits.
He argues that our lives are ultimately shaped by our habits.
That's a powerful statement.
It is, and he goes on to say that
Okay.
if we don't consciously control our habits will control us.
So the miracle morning isn't just about a morning routine.
Right.
It's about a framework for building positive habits that can transform our lives.
He sees the miracle morning as a way to cultivate those positive habits
Okay.
that lead to greater success, happiness, and fulfillment.
Wow, that really puts it into perspective.
Yeah.
But does he offer any specific guidance
Yeah.
on how to break bad habits and build new ones?
He does. In fact, he dedicates a whole chapter
Okay.
to the science of habit formation.
Interesting.
He even challenges that popular myth that it takes 21 days to form a new habit.
Oh, really? I've always heard that 21-day rule.
It turns out it's not quite accurate.
Okay.
He cites research suggesting that it actually takes an average of 66 days.
66 days.
Wow, for a new behavior to become automatic.
That's much longer than I thought.
Yeah, it is.
So it's more about consistency and repetition
Right,
over a longer period of time.
exactly. He emphasizes that there are 3 phases to habit formation.
Okay, what are they?
The initial honeymoon phase,
Okay.
the fight-through phase,
Okay.
and the second nature phase.
Okay, let's break those down.
All right, so the honeymoon phase is that initial period of excitement
Okay.
when you're motivated and everything feels new and fresh.
Yeah, I love that phase.
It's a good one. But then comes the fight-through phase, when you're
Oh.
facing resistance.
Yeah.
And it takes real effort to stick with a new behavior.
Ugh, the fight through phase. That's usually where I give up on new habits.
I know it's tough, but Elrod acknowledges that this is the most challenging phase. But he encourages people to push through it,
Okay.
reminding them that it gets easier over time.
Okay. So what's the second nature phase?
That's when the habit becomes automatic.
Oh, okay.
It's no longer a struggle. It's just something you do
Yeah.
without thinking about it.
That sounds like the ultimate goal.
It is.
To reach a point where the positive habit is simply integrated into your life.
Exactly. And
Mm.
Elrod provides a number of strategies
Okay.
for navigating each of these phases
Okay.
and increasing your chances of successfully building those lasting habits.
I'm really appreciating his practical approach to this.
Yeah, he's all about action.
It's not just about inspiration,
I
it's
hear.
about actionable steps you can take
Exactly.
to create real change.
Yeah.
But before we wrap up part 2 of our deep dive,
Okay.
does Elrod address any potential downsides or challenges
Yeah.
associated with the miracle morning?
He does. He acknowledges that some people might experience challenges,
Okay.
especially in the beginning.
Yeah.
Well, for example, some people might struggle with getting enough sleep
Okay. Yeah.
if they're waking up earlier than usual.
That's a valid concern.
It is.
Yeah.
And he emphasizes the importance of listening to your body
Okay.
and adjusting the routine as needed.
Good.
He encourages people to prioritize sleep
Okay.
and not sacrifice it for the sake of the routine.
That's responsible advice.
It is.
It's not about pushing yourself to the point of burnout.
Right.
It's about finding a sustainable approach to personal development.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He also cautions against becoming overly obsessed
Okay.
with the routine itself.
Okay.
The goal is to use the miracle morning as a tool
Right.
for personal growth
Yeah.
and not let it become another source of stress or pressure.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
It's about finding a balance that works for you
Right.
and supports your overall well-being.
Absolutely.
This has been incredibly insightful.
It has.
We've covered so much ground,
I know we have.
from the savers and the 30-day challenge to the importance of customizing the routine
Right.
and the science of habit formation.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I feel like I have a whole new toolbox
That's great.
for creating a life I love.
Awesome.
But you mentioned a life-changing email.
Oh, yeah, right.
That's right.
That's one of those powerful exercises in the book.
Okay.
And we're diving into that next.
All right.
Be sure to join us for part 3
Okay.
as we explore how seeking honest feedback can be the key to unlocking your full potential.
Okay, I'm really curious about this life-changing email.
Yeah, it's a powerful one.
We've talked about the savers and the 30-day challenge and all these incredible strategies for transforming your mornings.
Yeah.
But seeking brutally honest feedback,
Mm-hmm.
that sounds a bit intimidating, to be honest.
It can be, but as Elrod says,
Okay.
growth often requires us to step outside of our comfort zones.
That's true.
And sometimes the most valuable insights
Okay.
come from the people who know us best,
Yeah,
even if those insights aren't always flattering.
that's a good point. So how does this life-changing email exercise actually work?
So it's surprisingly simple.
Okay.
Elrod suggests composing an email
Okay.
and sending it to a select group of people
Okay.
who you trust and who have witnessed you in different areas of your life.
So like family members,
Yeah.
close friends, colleagues, mentors,
Mm-hmm.
even past partners.
Even exes.
Wow, it takes guts.
It does. But Elrod argues
Yeah.
that sometimes those who have been closest to us,
Okay.
even if the relationship didn't work out,
Yeah.
often have the most valuable insights into our blind spots,
Oh, interesting.
those patterns of behavior that we might not even be aware of.
I can see how that would be valuable.
Yeah.
We all have those tendencies or habits
Yeah.
that we might not see in ourselves.
Exactly. So in the email,
Okay.
you simply ask for their honest assessment of your strengths and weaknesses.
Okay.
And you emphasize that you're genuinely seeking growth
Mm-hmm.
and that their feedback, however critical,
Okay.
will be valuable to you.
Okay, I'm starting to see the power of this exercise.
Yeah.
But I have to admit, the thought of receiving potentially harsh feedback
Right.
makes me a bit squeamish.
That's understandable.
Okay.
Elrod himself admits to feeling defensive
Okay.
when he first received this kind of feedback.
Really?
He shares his own struggles with accepting criticism,
Okay.
which makes it all the more relatable.
Yeah.
But he stresses that it's important to detach from our egos
Okay.
and remember that the purpose of this exercise is to learn and grow.
So it's about being open to hearing the truth,
Right.
even if it stings a bit.
Exactly. And the truth is
Yeah.
Sometimes we need that external perspective to help us see ourselves more clearly.
Did Elrod experience any positive outcomes from doing this?
He claims that the insights he gained from this one exercise are more profound than anything he had learned in years.
Wow.
He says it helped him identify patterns in his behavior
Okay.
that were holding him back,
Interesting.
patterns that he wasn't even aware of.
And by becoming aware of these patterns,
Yeah.
he was able to start making conscious changes.
Exactly. It's like holding a mirror up to yourself
Yeah.
and seeing those hidden parts that we
Yeah.
often try to ignore.
That's a great analogy. And the beauty of this exercise is that it's something anyone can do.
Right?
You don't need a therapist or a coach.
Yep.
You just need the courage to ask for honest feedback
Yeah.
and the willingness to listen with an open mind.
That's it.
Okay, you've officially convinced me to try this.
Great.
But do you have any tips for making the most of this life-changing email exercise?
So Elrod emphasizes being specific in your request.
Okay.
Don't just ask for general feedback.
Okay.
Instead, focus on particular areas of your life
Okay.
where you're seeking to grow.
So if I'm struggling with procrastination, for example,
Yeah.
I might specifically ask for feedback
Right.
on my time management skills or my ability to follow through on commitments.
Exactly. The more focused your questions are, the more helpful the answers are likely to be.
That makes sense.
He also stresses the importance of choosing the right people
Okay.
to send this email. The
Okay.
people who you respect, whose opinions you value,
Mhm.
and who you believe have your best interests at heart.
Okay. I'm starting to see how this one exercise could be truly transformative.
Yeah, it's powerful stuff.
But is there anything else in the Miracle Morning that we haven't covered yet?
Oh, there's so much more. He talks about the importance of having a clear purpose,
Okay.
of aligning your goals with your values,
Yeah.
and of surrounding yourself with positive influences.
Mm-hmm.
He shares personal stories of overcoming adversity
Okay.
and achieving success,
Yeah.
which make the concepts even more relatable and inspiring.
It sounds like a really holistic approach to personal development.
It is.
Not just about changing your mornings,
Right.
but about transforming your entire life.
Exactly. And I think that's why the Miracle Morning resonates with so many people.
Yeah.
It's not a quick fix. It's a journey of self-discovery and growth.
Well, this deep dive has been incredibly insightful.
I agree.
We've explored so many aspects of the Miracle Morning,
Yeah.
from the practical strategies to the deeper psychological principles.
Yeah.
I feel like I have a whole new toolbox
That-
for creating a life I love.
That's the goal.
What's the one key takeaway you'd like listeners to walk away with?
From this deep dive,
Yeah.
if there's one thing to remember, it's that your mornings have the power
Okay.
to shape your entire day and ultimately your entire life.
Wow.
The Miracle Morning is about reclaiming that power
Okay.
and using it to create a life that is filled with purpose, joy, and fulfillment.
Beautifully said. So if you're feeling inspired to create your own Miracle Morning,
Yeah,
remember that even small changes can lead to big results.
absolutely. What if you could wake up excited for your day?
Hmm.
What would your ideal Miracle Morning routine look like?
That's a great question for all of us to ponder.
It is.
And if you're looking for more guidance or support, be sure to check out Hal Elrod's website
Okay,
and connect with the online community.
good idea.
There's a whole world of resources and inspiration waiting for you.
Absolutely. And as always,
Yeah.
we'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences.
Yes.
Share your Miracle Morning insights with us on social media.
Until next time, remember,
Yeah?
your morning is yours to design,
It is.
make it miraculous,